Welcome back. Good day. All right. Today we'll set up our HUD and our HP so we can get to those notifies that I was talking about in the last episode. So let's go to our player blueprint and open this up. And we'll set up two variables. Go to variables and select the plus icon. You can do it twice, so just do it once and then duplicate it if you do it, which I'll do. This one we'll name default HP. And we'll change it to a float instead of a boolean. I might make these instance editable too, probably. I don't know. And I duplicate this, and I'll call this current HP. Okay. We'll probably work on our HUD a little bit today too. Yeah, I know HUD. It's a widget. Let's make these instance editable, like I said. All right, and get that all done. We'll compile, we'll save, and then we'll set these. Default we'll leave as 1. We'll leave default as 1. 1 represents 100. I said this, and anything like 0.9 will be 90%. Current HP will make it 75% out of 100, so that's 3/4 of whatever our progress bar will say. Okay, compile, save. All right, so we have to do this a couple of times in a couple of spots. So let's go into our initiate player start, and I want to pull off of our sequence to set up the basic health, setting our basic current health. So we just take our current HP float that we made here and get it. Then we can grab it again and attach it to the execution pin of the sequence. Then connect our get current HP to the set node, and that will set our HP. And you'll need this. This is the basic one. You'll see why, because we'll use the get a lot and add it and do all of that, and then I'll have to register and set whatever it is. So whatever our current HP is, it's now set. All right. So let's go to our blueprints and start our new blueprint class. Let's scroll all the way down. Go to user interface. Select widget blueprints. All right. You'll have options here. You want the user widget. All right. Select your user widget. You name it. I'll name this W_HP or main HUD. Yeah, main HUD. I'll leave it at that. I can always rename it later, just so something I could always remember what to reference it as. Let's open this up. Let's start designing this. Here you go. This is our user interface or our HUD. These are the images you would put on a screen for like progress bars or if you had inventories. All right, so first thing I want to do in version 4, you always had a canvas to start off as, and I'm used to that, so I'll put in a canvas panel and I'll put it right on top of my main HUD, and it goes right over the entire what would be your computer screen. Everything in the screen would be your monitor. All right, and inside this canvas panel, I want to put like a horizontal bar. And this bar is what's going to contain our text and our progress bar. It keeps it neat and organized somewhat. So let's pull it and drop it on top of the canvas panel. So it's inside the canvas panel. And that huge asterisk right there, that's your anchor. I'll show in a later video what happens if you don't really set those. I have a weird way of setting them. I don't know what you would call it. I just make sure it's set so it doesn't move. It looks like it's in the same position all the time. Like when you minimize and close the screen out. This is what I'll do is I'll bring it here and I'll get all 4 corners and I'll lock them in. I'll anchor them down so they're always stuck in that position. It might be bad. I've never had issues with it this way. Maybe in a later video or whatever, what happens, I'll show you what happens or later on. But right now I just want to set all of this up. All right, so there's a horizontal box. Let's make this a little bigger. Because everything inside that blue area or that dashed line that you see, that's your actual monitor. All right, and this is your details panel. You could do whatever you want here to your liking. All right. When I'm done with this, I want to put in a text, just a regular text. Scroll down, click this, hold it down, and put it on top of the horizontal box. This puts it inside of your horizontal box. Okay, and you click on this. Let's name this. You know, we can name this health text block or HP text block, whatever you really want. Just so you know later on if we have to get to it or call it. But you probably don't. I just naming it. All right. Over here, where is the text? This is the text. This is important. This is what you want to do. I'll put HP colon. That's weird. Let me space colon. All right. That's good. And the positioning looks a little off. I want to center it a little bit. All right. And that's not too difficult. To bring that down just slightly, we'll go over here. I'll pull it to that side so it stays that way, and I'll center it. And that kind of fixes it up right there, and that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Pretty simple. All right. It will change the color. We won't do much here. I'm not going to go into graphic designing and all of that on a HUD right now. I'm just going to set it up to look pretty decent. You know, maybe later on I'll do something about that. I definitely want to clean it up towards the end. I got the color. Where is the outline? That's what I want is my outline. Make it stand out a little bit. I want to put like a dark outline over and around it. These are our fonts. I might put a font in there. You could just upload it and just slide it right in there. Oh, here we go. This is it right here. I'll leave black. I'll set this to 2. That should be just enough. Yeah, that makes it stand out a little bit more so it doesn't look so bad. That'll be fine for me. We could just do that. Alright, so there you go. That's basically where our progress bar will be for our HP. We'll have to do some coding to get it to work with our player character so they can talk back and forth. Sort of like, you know, so they register what has to be done. Compile, save. Let's move this over here. Alright. Let's go inside the event graph here. And let's get off of this event construct. I just want to close these. Boxes are a little annoying. Alright. Okay. Alright, off the event construct. I want to make a reference call to my player character. Alright. And it's really important that we did that. So, you know how many times we probably would have cast it several times already. This is just calling it once, and like if we cast, every time you cast, it's like everything that you would have ever casted to, I believe, gets called. I'm not sure. I just never did it. Everybody always says it's not really the best thing to do, and I've learned this way is a little bit better. All right, and we did that. We pulled off of the player cast call and created a variable. And now we're going to create a function. And we're going to call this HPUI. Alright, this is what's going to end up reading the current health from the player. And calculate what it should look like. Or what it should look like on the progress bar, or what the count of the HP should be. Alright, so let's click on this and actually put in the output area. Let's make a float and call this new HP. All right, and let's make this a float like I said. What am I doing? There you go. All right. And this is towards the end. It's kind of like setting up the a health system, I guess. Well, that's what we are doing, right? A health system. So, yeah, I guess it is setting up a health system. Duh. Oh god, I'm sorry, I'm tired. Alright, let's get our player cast call. I know we made the reference, but I'd rather call it in the function. I don't want to, because sometimes the functions work weird. I know, like, some you can't use some nodes. Let's get the player character. Pull off our player cast call and get our current health. Let's get that. Bring it out. Let's set it to the new HP and connect the return node to our player cast call. And this is how it will calculate what the player has. And we'll bring it into the HUD. Alright. Compile, we saved. And now in the designer, our last little thing before we finish our coding up or whatever is we'll go up here and we'll drop in our progress bar. We'll just get it all prepped because we can't really finish it right now because we have to do something to bind it. And another thing I kind of learned was that it's not best to create the binding from inside the widget. It's better to make a function and reference it. And that's what we're going to do. So put your progress bar inside the horizontal box. Then hit fill. You could play with all of that. I'm going to leave that. I'll maybe play with the color a little bit, maybe. That's about it. That's all I want to do. I just want to see if it functions right now. I could always make something that I could throw in there to make it look prettier. Alright, this is your details panel. This is where you could throw all your images and stuff like that too. Like I said, I'm just going to play with the color. I might want to like this greenish color down here somewhere. That's good enough. You can make that white bar disappear too if you want, but I'm just going to leave it just to leave it. I'm not getting fancy. It's all to see if it works. If it works, you could always make it prettier later. Alright, these are your styles. You know. That's about it. Alright. And then this bar will end up getting like the percent. Where is it? The percent right here, and we're gonna bind it. That's what I was just talking about. We won't create the binding from here. We'll finish doing everything and then come back here and set it last. So let's go back to the player character. All right, we have our HUD set up. It knows who our player character is. So let our player character use the HUD when they begin play. So add a pin on our sequence in our initiate player start function. Pull off of this, type in create widget. When you create this widget, I have like a purple little text box. It's an actual class box right here. There you go. You're going to just put in the widget you just created, or the interface, or the UI you just did, user interface. All right, you don't need to do nothing there. That's for here. And we'll reference this. We'll make a variable. Okay, we'll call this our main HUD. Well, this is my main HUD reference. All right, so now this gets called and set up. One last thing after I type this in. When this is all done, I want to add this to the viewport. When I add this to the viewport, we should be able to actually see it. Okay, and this is what we'll do here. There it is. Boom. Boom. Okay, so this is done. We'll compile. We'll save. We'll go back to our main HUD, compile and save that too because I forgot to do it there. Okay. And now that we're here, let's do one more thing. Last thing, we have to update our health. So create a new function and name it update. Health HP. Update health. No. Yeah, because HP is inside the widget. Yeah, don't mind me if I talk to myself. There we go. click on this, go to the outputs, and once again, let's put in a float. Let's highlight this and name this new current health. There you go. Leave that right away. Anyway, okay. Now, what we do is we pull out our current HP. Pull out our default HP. Now, if the current HP is greater or equal to our default, it will go into a branch, and if it's true, we'll pull off the branch node, select our branch node, connect our branch node. Okay. Now, if current health is greater than or equal to our default, all right, and this is true, I want to now go into get our HUD reference, and I want to call that function. Yeah, the HP UI function that we just made. Let's get that function. Let's bring it out. If it's true, let's go there. Let's transfer that information to there. Like I said, it's got to read that information. Now take our current HP and set it off the new HP pin. Connect that. Set the current HP execution pin to the new current health. Connect all your nodes. I know that sounded a little tricky, but if you just copy, it should be fine. Connect all your nodes, and we should be able to go back to our HUD. Go to our progress bar. The progress bar. Boop, boop. Clean this up. All right. Get to our progress bar. Go to our percent. Go to binding. Go to our player cast call. Find our current HP. Select it. That is now binded to that. Let's compile and save and see if it works. We should see 75% of my bar if it works. I like these. This should be pretty good. I like the user interfaces, so I'm pretty sure this will work all right. I like playing around with those. Why this is taking so long, I don't know. But yeah, this should work fine. And I'll show you if it's actually working. Yeah, see, I mean, I don't know, maybe that's 80%, not 75%, but it's working. You see it, and it's not full, right? Let's just double check it, because I know I have it at 75%. So let's stop this, and let's go into our player, please, and I'll go to my current health. I got it at 0.75. I don't go half. I'll go low. I'll go a quarter. I'll go 0.25. All right. Let's try this out. I think it's fine. You know. Oh, I was just playing it. Should be upset. Yeah, it's working. It works absolutely fine. We could probably set up like a damage system later on. I could definitely get into the notifies now to finish up what I was talking about in the last episode. Alright, we'll have to go back one final time to our animations just to, like, you know, apply the damage and our projectile and stuff like that. So setting up the health actually is kind of important. Alright, but yeah, look, everything's set up. We went into our HUD, we set up everything we had to do. Our guy is starting to come along a little bit. He could walk, punch, maybe shoot a little bit if he actually ever did try to shoot, jump, all that fun stuff. All right. I don't know. I got a few more minutes. Maybe I could clean this up just a little bit, just a little bit. You know. All right, let's go. I'll go to the spring arm. Where's the spring arm? I have one of my moments. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Where am I? At 300? Let me cut this down to 150. I'll do a little cleanup right now just to get it out of the way. This is like meticulous little tiny stuff. Let's compile, save this. And one thing that has been bothering me, I'm going to do right now. We'll see it a little bit Let's play. All right. Yeah, it looks good closer, but you see how there's some artifacting and like blurriness on the edges there? I don't really like that. This is the thing about Unreal, I think, is that the engine is big. You can make huge worlds for a 2D. It's kind of overkill, but I like it. I'm used to it. It's kind of easy for me. Just go into the project settings, go to the rendering, and look for anti-alias texture defaults. It's usually next to this. Where is this? You know what? Just type in it alias. All right, and go down. And yeah, there it is. Just the second thing right here. This is what I want to change. You go here, you click on this, and set it to that. FXAA. That should clear it up. It looks crisper. Okay? Yeah. I think it does anyway. You can zoom in, I'm pretty sure it does. But, yeah, alright. Yeah, maybe next episode will be the notifies. Ooh, sorry, different views you get to go through. And yeah, we'll set that up and then we'll get into the enemies. Alright? Thank you. Have a good one. Good night.